job planning, and now we will continue for the chapter number 4, which is about the job analysis. So for the definition, you guys must remember that job analysis will the activities, the functions that's after the planning about the job. And for this time, you guys will trying to gathering and also analyzing the information like the content, the context about the overview of about the job and the positions in order to about the job description. Okay, so for the job analysis procedure right here, we have 5 steps. The step number 1 is try to figure out why you guys want to change, why you guys need to analyzing about the job, because will make you guys use a lot of resource. For example, like the like human resource, financial resource, and etc. So which means that you guys must identify very carefully about the objective of job analysis right here. For the step number 2, which is about repairing and also introducing. So in this time, you guys will have a plan in order to know exactly what criteria, what is the requirements right here that you guys must need in order to analyze the job effectively. For example, who will be involved into about the job analysis right here, which department, who's the line manager right here, who's will take in charge, or maybe who will the one that who take the responsibilities in writing about the job description and etc. So that is about preparing and introducing. Moreover, you guys also need to select maybe 1 or 2 technique in order to collecting about the data. And for the step number 3 right here, you try to conducting, which means that you guys will implementation. We'll have a good implementation about how you guys can use that technique in order to interview, in order to ask the questions, or maybe observe the activities, the behavior, in order to have a better understanding about the job position. And then for the step number 4, after you guys understand, after you guys have enough information that you guys need, you guys will try to designing about the job description and job specification. And for the last step right here, which is about the maintaining and updating if there is something changed, or maybe you guys want to have an extra point of view, or maybe you guys want to have like more clearly in the information in the job description or maybe job specification for that job. So for the previous day, team number 1 and team number 2 just finished about the questionnaire and also interview. Now we'll move on to the third technique right here, which is about the observation. So who's will be in the group number 3 want to volunteer to present in the class about the observation right here. What is the advantage? What is the disadvantage about this technique? What we need to focus on, and give me 1 example. So who will who's in group number 3 will be the one that will represent about this session in the class. Observation technique. Okay, team number 3, if there is no one who volunteer, I would like to call. Okay, I would like to call Minh Thiện, the one who volunteer right here.
Okay, hello teacher. So about the observation. So my teams do the research, and there are some advantages. Like the first one is the direct information. Observation allows the observer to collect primary data firsthand by watching actual actions performed by employees rather than relying on what they say they do. And the next one is the high accuracy for manual tasks. It is highly effective for roles with physical, repetitive tasks where methods to complete the mission can be easily seen and measured. And the last one is the no interruption. If the missions are done correctly, it allows for the collection of data without stopping the workforce from completing their assigned tasks. About the disadvantage, the first disadvantage is the observer effect. Employees may change their behavior or productivity levels if they know they are being watched for controlling purpose. The next one is the limited scope. It cannot capture mental processes, mindset, or tasks that happen infrequently over a long period. And the last one is the bias risk. The observer's own perspective or orientation might influence how they interpret the actions they see, leading to the subjective results. And to apply in a real case, my group has the situations like uh, the quick hire a new and inexperienced workers who are producing defective garments, and the human resource needs to understand why the quality is low, and applying the observations instead of sending a survey, which new workers might be too scared to answer honestly. The HR manager decides to perform a direct observation on the factory floor. So step one, uh, you need to select the target. The HR manager selects 5 veteran workers and 5 new workers to observe for 1 hour each. And step two is watch and record the observation of the veterans. Uh, the HR manager notes that veterans pin the fabric before sewing to prevent slipping. And about the new hires, the HR manager sees that new hires are skipping the pinning stage to try to work faster, leading to crooked seams. And the last step is analyze the environment. The manager noticed that the lighting in the new section of the factory is dimmer than in the veteran section, making it hard to see the bright colors. So it is my group's idea about the observation.
Okay, thank you very much. So for the group number 3 right here, I also have the extra question for you guys to think about, and you guys can volunteer to answer the question. Among when you guys can have a questionnaire, interview, and observation, what type of the technique that you guys want to use in order to have a better, and you guys can easily collecting the data right here? What kind of the technique you guys will choose? Questionnaire, interview, or observation? What is your opinion? If you guys are the HR assistant right here, and you guys have responsibilities to collecting about the data and have a good job analysis for the report, and you guys analyze that, you guys can use questionnaire, interview, and observation. So in your opinion, what type of technique right here that you guys want to use and why? Can you guys explain the idea for me? So if the group number 3, there's no one volunteer for the extra question, I would like to ask the other team. So what is your opinion right here? Yes, Minh Thị.
Okay, hello teacher. I'm a member of group number 3. So my opinion about the technique we use. So if to easily collect the data, I think the best technique is the observation, because in the observation method, you can get direct information about how the work is actually being done, rather than just what the worker says they do. And the next one is to eliminate the reporting bias. Unlike the interviews or questionnaires, observation does not rely on an employee's memory or their desire to look good to a manager. Uh, you see the actual action as they happen in their daily routine, not in a filtered version of them. And the last one is the verification of the standards. It is an excellent tool for the controlling function as it allows a supervisor to verify if the quantity and quality of work actually meets the established organizational objective of the work. So this is my team opinion.
Okay, thank you very much. So now we'll move on to the group number 4, which is about the checklist. So who will be the one that want to represent about the checklist technique? I would like to call Nhi.
Yes, the checklist method is a structured data collection technique used in job analysis where employees are given a prepared list of tasks and asked to indicate which ones apply to their job. And one major advantage of this method is standardization, as all employees respond to the same list, making it easier to compare different positions. It's also time saving and cost effective because it can be distributed to many employees at once without requiring lengthy interviews. And in addition, checklist results can be easily quantified, which supports data analysis and job evaluation processes. However, the checklist method had several limitations. It lacks depth because employees want tick tasks without explaining how complex or important they are. And this may oversimplify jobs, especially managerial or creative roles that require strategic thinking. There is also a risk of misinterpretation if employees understand checklist items differently. Furthermore, in dynamic environments, checklists may become outdated quickly as job roles change. And overall, the checklist method is useful for collecting standardized and measurable job data, particularly in large organizations with routine roles. And however, it should be combined with other methods such as interview to ensure more accurate and comprehensive job analysis.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
answer.
So for the extra question right here for the group number 4, do you guys think that the checklist technique right here we can use every time when you guys want to analyze about the job? In your opinion, is this a very perfect technique for every occasions for the job analysis? Yes, I would like to call Kai.
Well, in my opinion, it is not the perfect method to use for all of the occasion, since our group has mentioned the one of the limitation of the checklist method that it lacks depth. Like when you give out uh, a sheet which includes all the things that you can do, and then when the employee tick or not, they are lacking the depth in it. Like if they tick the job, there are more in that job than just the job itself. Like handling customer complaints, when our employees can tick on that, will they handling that that problem, like they solve it smoothly, or will they just shut up the customer right away and be done with it? So this method is good if we want to get a huge amount of info, but we don't require the depth of it. Like we just looking for the position or the job that they can be done. So I think that this method is not perfect for all occasion. When there are more occasion which they are require more skill, like fast improvisation, and like we should use the interview method, for example, for that kind of job.
Okay, thank you very much. So now for the last team right here is about the diary or log. So for team number 5, I would like to call Minh Châu.
Yes, teacher. The diary or log technique is a job analysis method in which employees record all their activities for a set time. Employees use a form to write down the start time, end time, and a clear description of each task. This method is very helpful for collecting data on repetitive jobs or tasks that are hard to see. To ensure accuracy, employees should record their work right after finishing each task so they don't forget. The collected data helps managers group activities into categories, right, like administration, client communication, or technical processing. However, this method requires patience and honesty from the workers so they don't celebrate or miss important details. For example, an organization wants to analyze the job of a sales manager. HR asks the manager to keep a diary for 1 week. After reviewing the log, HR finds that the manager spent 40% of time answering emails, 25% attending meetings, 20% preparing reports, and only 15% on strategic sales planning. So the analysis show that too much time is spent on administrative and operational tasks, while strategic activities receive limited attention. Based on this data, HR may recommend delegating reporting tasks to an assistant and reducing unnecessary meetings. About the advantage, it provides detailed information about the job, like employees record their tasks regularly, so HR can see clearly what activities are actually performed in the job. This helps create more accurate job descriptions and job specification. It also shows how time is spent on different tasks. By tracking daily activities, HR can understand how much time employees spend on each responsibility. This helps identify the most important tasks and improve job design. About disadvantages, it's time consuming for employees. Employees must record their activities every day, which may interrupt their job and require extra effort. It also information may be inaccurate. Some employees may forget to record tasks, execute activities, or leave out unimportant details, which can reduce data reliability. Yes, so that's my team's answer.
Okay, thank you very much about the diary and log. And for the extra question for the team number 5, can you guys compare between the checklist and diary right here? Because it's quite the same. However, it's sometimes some criteria right here is quite very different. Can you guys compare for me or maybe distinguish between the checklist and also diary right here? How we can compare about the checklist with the diary, because it's quite it's have a similarity right here, right? However, it's something that is very different when you guys just compare from the checklist and diary. Can you guys tell me a little bit about this one? Yes, I would like to call Han Dung.
In my opinion, the most difference between checklist and diary or log is that checklist is a list that the company give the employee, so they just have to tick the right or tick into the box. They will not add any information into the checklist. They just follow the checklist of the company. But in a diary or the log, the employee can add any information that they have into that, and they do not have to follow any fixed checklist, and they can write anything like the job and the time they do and anything they want.
Okay, thank you very much. That is very correct. So that is the difference between the checklist and diary and log, and you guys must know about. So now let me summarize all about this technique for you guys. The first one is about a questionnaire. So questionnaire right here is very useful technique that every company that they can use. So the questionnaire right here, meaning that you guys can gathering and also analyzing information on matter of fact or maybe opinion, because you guys want to ask a question for the interviewee right here, or maybe for the supervisor, for the employees, and for the job assistant, and etc. So you guys will ask the question maybe in the form of required yes or no question. For example, you guys can ask the question like, do you like your job? What do you think about your job? What do you think that you like about your job and dislike about your job? So that is a required yes or no, or maybe give out about the opinion about the job position. So the HR want to know deeply about what is the reason behind why you guys like or don't like right here. Maybe you guys can ranking in order of the important or the value. For example, if you guys doing the research, you guys can see we have the Likert, okay, the Likert scale right here, from 1 to 5, which is about a strongly agree, disagree, strongly disagree. Okay, so that is about a Likert scale. Or maybe you guys can ask the respondent to indicate your extent to which they agree or disagree with the statement. So that is about a questionnaire. It's quite very easy for you guys to use in order to have the information. So in questionnaire right here, there are some note highlight right here that you guys must remember. The first of all is identify the key issue and the potential question. You guys must ask them in the very clear question, and it must have a key issue, or maybe we can say there's a keyword in order to make sure that the interviewer right here, or maybe the employees, or maybe the one who perform for the job, they understand what kind of the keyword right here that they must answer. So that is about the questionnaire issue keyword. For the next note is ensure that the questions are clear, avoiding asking 2 questions in one item. So avoiding leading question that supply their own answer, or maybe decide the structure of the questionnaire, coding question for the ease to analyze. So when you guys have the data right here from many people, just answer the question. Maybe the online or maybe offline, Google form, or maybe on the paper, you guys must import that data into the Excels. So you guys must coding every question and also every answer in order to have a better look and have a result at the end, okay, in order to analyze and also understand about the job analysis. Then you guys will start with the simple factual questions, then the value and opinion later, because you guys cannot begin with the question like why you guys don't like your job. You guys must ask them first that what is your job, what is the position, or maybe do you like your job, or maybe then after all about the factual question right here, you guys can ask about the opinion, why you guys don't want the job like this one, or maybe what is the advantage and disadvantage for this position, what is your opinion about the salaries of this job position, and etc. So first is about the factual question, and then is value and opinion. And you guys must add the varieties and the opportunity to check the consistency. Okay, so that is about a questionnaire. So the advantage here is identify, gathering the factual evidence, and it's quite save a lot of money for you guys to do. However, it's not so useful for the researcher who are investigating how or why things are happen. Because it will depend on the way of you guys want to answer the question. Okay, and respondent bias use their personal view and force interviewee to feel the same way. So this is very dangerous when you guys want to ask a question, or maybe they want to answer by the bias, fact dishonest answer, or maybe unanswered question. Okay, so that is about this advantage about this technique. Next, we will move on to the interview. So the interview right here is will face-to-face communication. It's quite very different than the questionnaire that you guys can use for the offline, maybe by the Google form or maybe by the Excel right here. However, for the interview, you guys must communicating directly, okay, to the interviewee. So the interview right here will obtain the factual data and the insight into the attitudes and the feeling. And you guys will have three structure for the interview right here. The first one is structured, the second one is unstructured, and the third one is semi-structured. So the structure right here, which means that you guys will prepare everything for the interviewee, and you guys must follow every question on the paper that you guys just prepare. So that is about the structured interview. However, for the unstructured interview right here, which means that there's no question have been prepared, and you guys will depend on the answers of the interviewee in order to add more question. If you guys like to know more reason, you guys want to analyze deeper about the answer of the interviewee. Okay, so that is about unstructured interview. And for the third one, it's quite very difficult for you guys to use if you guys don't have the communication skill. Because the semi-structure right here, which means that you guys will combine the like you guys will combine both structure and unstructured into the semi right here. You guys will use a lot of communication skill in order to follow about a question that you guys already prepared. However, you guys must focus on about the keyword in the answer in order to have a better understanding about the answer of the interviewee. Okay, it's very difficult for you guys to use. So sometimes the company just use about a structured interview for the HR in order to easy follow about the structure that they just conduct and have a good planning right there. And for the structure right here, they have the advantage like ensure that every topic is covered and minimize the variation between the respondent. However, the disadvantage right here is maybe too rigid or maybe you guys is not flexible in the way that you guys want to ask a question. Okay, you guys just depend on the paper, on the document only, but not flexible at all in the interview. For the unstructured right here, the advantage is free to talk because you guys don't repair anything. You can just follow to the mood of the interviewer and interviewee, and you guys will depend on the answer of them. And greater insight into about the interviewee perspective, opinions, and avoid fitting the respondent into the many category right here. However, the disadvantage is maybe sometimes it will lead to about a poor data, and that is very difficult for you guys to analyze. And for the third one is about the semi-structure. Semi-structure right here will be suited for the special characteristic of each interviewee and avoid the problem of completely structured or maybe unstructured interview. And disadvantage right here is that you guys must have a communication skill in order to master the semi-structured interview in the real life. Okay, so that is about the advantage and disadvantage of each type of the interview. So in general, interview right here, they will have like the opportunity to obtain information directly because you guys will now like directly communication together and provide the insights better than the questionnaire because you guys can actually knowing about the behavior and also the attitude, the opinion of that interviewee for that time and promoting in-depth understanding. However, the disadvantage right here is that leading the question or maybe plan answer. An interviewer may influence in some way for the reaction of the interviewee by imposing their own preference frame or maybe time consuming because if you guys directly interview everybody, so it will take time. Maybe one person is 10 minutes. It's quite very long time for you guys to analyze for something. And this will require considerable interviewing skill. Okay, so that is about the advantage and disadvantage of the interview. Next, for the observations, as your friend just said at the beginning of the class. So this method right here is getting a direct and realistic impressions of what is going on, what is happening right here. You guys will observe about the activities, the real evidence about the behavior, about the actual job that they will do a day for the job position. And this will provide about a powerful insight, but it's time consuming because you guys must follow that persons and watching, observing what they must do in a day, and you guys will gather about the information. However, it's kind of very time consuming and require considerable skill and persistence. For the checklist right here is a type of job we use to reduce about the failure by compensating for potential limited of human memories and attention. So you guys can see we have a lot of things to check right here. To-do list, or maybe you guys can follow about the schedule in order to know what is about the activity exactly that employees must do in the day. And the advantage right here is to organize by ensuring that we don't skip any step in the process. However, maybe not able to have a clear communicate, and you can just depend on about the checklist only. And finally, is about the diary or log. So diary or log right here, you guys can use like the example in Vietnamese companies right now, you guys can see on the slide, it's called mẫu nhật ký công việc, okay? And it's will divide into about many times in the companies, and you guys will writing about what kind of activity that you guys will do, or maybe you guys just did in a day, and the companies will follow about this diary in order to have a better understanding about what kind of activity and the task that you guys must perform. Okay, so that is about the diary and log. And for advantage right here, advantage is attract many participants to provide the information quickly, useful when you guys want to analyze how to observe about a job. However, it's also have the drawback right here. The diary writer is not honest, like your friend just say, with the mistake in the working place. Okay, so that is every technique that you guys can use in order to have the information right here and have a better understanding about the job position that you guys want to analyze. After you guys have the information right here, you guys will move to the next part, which is about writing the job description and job specification. So now, can you guys tell me, in your opinion, what is the difference between the job description and job specification right here? What is the difference between the JD and the JS? I will. I want to ask Quốc Bảo.
Well, I think job description is about what the employees they have to do, and job specification is the requirement for that employees to do that job. So that is my knowledge about job description and job specification.
Okay. I would like to call Khánh Linh. What do you think about this question?
Well, I have the same idea with Bảo because, like, in my opinion, the job description will describe the required tasks, duties, and responsibilities of employees when they apply to the job. And while job specification is like the knowledge, skills, and abilities or education or experience and some requirements for that employee.
Okay. So one more perspective. I want to ask Yên Đan.
Yes, I have the same ideas with my friends. I think the job description will answer the question that what does the job involve, and the job specification will describe the qualifications and characteristics a person must have to perform the job successfully. So, in short, JD focuses on the work, while job specification will focus on the worker.
Yes, thank you very much. So exactly as your guys just answered. So for the job description right here, they will try to focus on about the task, responsibilities, and the duty that that job position will require. Meanwhile, the job specification right here, they will try to focus more on the idea of knowledge, skill, and abilities to perform for that job. Okay, so the in the real life, you can just see about the job description only, the JD only. So the job specification right here will be the element inside of the job description in order to have the potential candidate to have a better view for the job position inside of one company, will including about the task, responsibilities, duty, knowledge, skill, and abilities requirement for that job. Okay. So for this one, job summarize about the job analysis information will provide about the basic standard and identify the individual job very clearly. So in job description right here, you guys can see for the definitions, it will identify by the task, duty, and responsibility about the job. So it will try to figure out the answer for this question. That is, describe what, why, where, and how most relevant and accurate, and put an end for the possibilities appearing that is not my job. So why is that? Because if you guys don't list every activities, duty, responsibilities, and the task very clearly in the job description, maybe in the future, when the employees do not follow to the tasks or maybe responsibilities for that job position, that you guys can have a very strict regulation in order to manage that people. Okay, so that is about the element of the job description. And what is done, why is done, where is done, and how is it done. So you guys must answer these questions, like major duty will be performed, percentage of the time that you guys will do for each task right here, performance standard, working condition, maybe there are some possible hazard, or maybe number of employees, from the report, and the machine and the equipment needed if the job position is quite very special. Okay? So what is the relationship right here between the job description and the job analysis? So the job description right here will provide about a consistent statement for the job analysis. After you guys analyze about the job, you guys will have the idea to writing down about the job description, and you guys will use that job description in order to attract the potential candidate in the labor market. And you guys will use that to provide the information of the job position inside companies to the outside of the companies right here. Okay, and the information must relevant and also related. In the job description right here, you guys also must take note about the proper language in the job description. So in every job description, you guys will see that the company will use about the structure sentence in the classic verb or maybe the object. And you guys can see they will use the present tense a lot, because this is your task, this is your responsibilities for that job position. So that is must be present in the present tense only. And you guys must have the explanatory phrase. So for example, right here, you guys can use the task is collect all the employees' timesheet on the weekly basis for payroll purpose. So you guys will see the activities right here for the job position is collect all the employee timesheet weekly. However, you guys must explain what is the purpose of that activities. Is for payroll purpose, or maybe for the report, for the financial issue, and etc. So you guys will need to have the explanatory phrase. Okay. Next, you guys will use unbiased terminology. So there's no he, she, it, we, they in the job description, because if you guys use that terminology like he, she, so it will become like discrimination in the job position. Okay, so there is no bias terminology in the job description, and there is no some, frequently, several, and etc. Okay, so that is about the note of the proper language in the job description. And in the job description right here, we have many components that we must understand. The first one is job identification. The second one is job summarize. The third one right here is duty performed. The fourth one right here is job specification. So you guys can see job specification right here is one of the elements inside the GD. And for the last part in the job description, that is disclaimer, approval, working hours, benefit, and the extra information that you guys want to put, or maybe you guys want to write down inside the job description, and make sure that everybody will have the clear information right here to understand about the job. So for the first element right here, which is about the job identification. So this one is about the section will including about the job title, department, reporting relationship, location, and the day of the analysis, job code, pay grade, or maybe exempt or non-exempt status. So you guys will depend on about the job code and also the exempt, non-exempt status right here. You guys will see if you guys want to change the job description or not. Okay, so that is about the job identification. Next, we have the component of the job summarize. So job summary will be about a short paragraph in order to have a general responsibilities. You guys will describe about that job position inside the companies. Okay, and that is about a complete overview about that job. The third part right here, that is about the duty performance. So in this part, you guys will list down about the tasks, the duties, and responsibilities that you guys must perform for the job position. And one sentence will begin with an action verb, especially in the present tense. Okay. And the job specification right here will tell you guys about knowledge, skill, abilities, education, experience, physical requirement, and the other type of working condition. However, I want to ask you guys this question. If the HR did not set up the right level of the job specification, what will happen right here? If the job description is for the internship, however, you guys require people will have 5 years experience, and there are no extra commission for that internship position. So that is the case of the HR did not set up to the right level of the job specification right here. So what are the consequences in your opinion? I would like to call Phúc Huy.
Well, I believe if HR failed to establish the correct level of justification in hiring, the organization might face a higher employee turnover and reputational damage. Because when a job looker, a person who's looking for a job, sees a job description for the company and the job justification is not correct to what they are looking at, the company reputation will be damaged, and it will lead to poor compliance and lower trust, and potentially maybe some legal penalties for unfair and non-compliant actions. I believe that is the consequences.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, I want to ask Thiên Kim.
Yes, teacher. I think that if HR does not set the right level of JS, it usually cause mismatch in hiring and then problem with the whole HR system. For example, if the HR is set too high, then it will have fewer applicants and it will harder and slower to recruit. Also, if the JS is set too low, that means that you will hire the people who cannot meet the job demands, and also it make more mistake and lower quality.
Okay, thank you very much. So basically, in general, you guys can see if the HR did not set up to the right level of the job specification right here. The first thing that we must understand that is this HR department inside the companies do not understand anything about the job position. They do not calculate, they do not understand about the current state of the organization, and they cannot forecasting for the demand and the supply in general. And also for your friend just say that is about the reputations of the companies will fall down because if the potential candidate just look at about the JD and they say, oh, this job position is just only the internship. However, you guys require the people to have 5 to 10 years experience. It is quite very nonsense and unrealistic. So they will need to ask a question that what happened to these companies? Is this are very good and also professional companies are not. So it will affect to the reputation of the companies a lot. So the job specification right here, if you guys, after you guys graduate and you guys work as the HR department right here, you guys must careful about the job specification in the JD. Okay? And for the last part right here, you guys can see the idea is too high, so you guys will eliminate temptation, or maybe you guys out of the selecting pool for the potential candidate for the future. Compensation cost may be increased because the ideal candidate will have to be compensate more than the candidate will with the lesser skill. Maybe the job vacancies will be harder. Okay. And for the last part is about disclaimer, approval, working hours, and the benefits that you guys want to add more in the information for people, okay, to analyze about your company's job. So that we will look at about the first example right here. This is about the legal executive chuyên viên pháp lý, okay. So look at to this example. Can you guys analyze each component for the job description for me? What is about the job identification right here? Can you guys tell me what is about the job summarize? What is about the job duties? What is about the job specification? And also the extra information. If you look at to this JD, can you guys analyze about the job of this company for me? Yes, I would like to call Khánh Linh.
I think that the number 1, number 2, number 4 is about the job specification because it includes some requirements about knowledge, skills, and abilities of that employees. Also, the number 3 is about like maybe it's a job summary because it's about the statement that some general responsibility that they need to do in the job. And also the number 6 is about the about the some other things that they should do in this one. Yeah, that's my opinion.
Okay, thank you very much. So as you can see right here, for the first name, like chuyên viên pháp lý, legal executive, the name of the companies, about the job positions, about the address right here will be the job identification. Okay, this will be about the job title, every basic information about the job position right here. And for the number 3 right here is about the job duty, because it will explain for you guys every activities, the task, the responsibilities that you guys must perform for the legal executive position inside the companies. Then for the number 1, number 2, number 4 right here will be the job specification, because it will telling you guys what is about the requirement for the education level, what is about the knowledge, the skill that I want to see on the candidate employees for the future. Okay, so that is about the first job description from the Vinamilk. Okay, now we will move on to the next right here. This is a JD for the master brand manager. So can you guys describe and analyze for each components right here for me? Yes, I would like to call Hải Phong.
Yes, teacher. So as the first one in the headline, the master brand manager probably gonna be the job identification, and the second one is go to the main responsibilities. I think it's gonna be job specification, and the second one, the basic qualification, is gonna be about job description. Oh no, it's a job specification too, because it's involve knowledge, qualification, and yeah, no, I can see. Yeah.
So for the question from Bảo, so for the last job description for the legal executive right here, so they don't have any job summary right here. Okay, they just have about the job identification, about the job duties, about the job specification and disclaimer. Okay, so it's quite very special job description, like just this one also. How about this job description right here? You guys can see for the first part is administrative information right here, the job title, the department, report, and the job number will be the job identification. The day of the job analysis, the expiration day right here, also the job identification, because we're telling you guys the extent or non-extent expiration for the job analysis. So until about January 2018 right here, in the real life, the HR department must look at to this job description, and they will need to update about the information in this job description, okay, for the future use. Now, just look at about the job description. We have the job summary right here. The job summary will tell you guys a very short paragraph or maybe one sentence in order to overview about the job position for you guys. So for the job description, they will tell you guys that return all the customer pay loan documents to the customer, supervise the daily activities of the 2 clerks. Okay, it's very simple about the main activities, the main responsibility that you guys must do for the job position as the administrative information. Then you guys will have the essential function performed. This one will be the duty performed. And the job specification right here, they will require for the education level, which is about a high school diploma, or maybe the experience 6 months or more than in financial institution, or maybe the skill required right here. Okay. And the other job description right here, you guys will see they will have the identification section, general summarize, essential job function, knowledge, skill, abilities that they want to require, education and experience. Especially right here, they will have the physical requirement. Okay, this one you guys can include into the job description too, if the job position is quite very special and they require about the physical health from the employees. Okay, that is about this job description in the real life. Now, I will give one question for you guys to think, and you guys will discuss in class, in the team for me. And you guys will have like 20 minutes to think about this question. And for each team, I would like to hear the opinion from the member, and also for the example when you guys done with the question. So for the question right here is that explain how you guys would conducted a job analysis in a company that never had the job description before. So basically this question that if you guys have the new job position, a very new that never had in the past, how could you guys analyze about that job position? Okay, so for this question, you guys will have 20 minutes to do in a group, and then I would like to hear the opinion from each group about this question. Okay, and who volunteer to answer the question will have the plus point.
Yes, teacher. So about this question, our group our group point of view is that because according to the HRM theory, we would conduct the job analysis according to the job analysis procedures as being taught. However, because the issue raised here is that we do not have the enough information to define the clear details about the JD. So the step that we want to emphasize here is to collect the information. So we were following the 5 steps of the job analysis procedure and we will use an example to show the steps of us. So we will have a clear we'll have clearer understands. And the job we would use we vision that our new company doesn't have the legal department yet. As for the jobs, legal specialist, so we will build the JD for the job legal specialist. At step 1, which is the identify objectives for the job analysis, we'll decide that the HR need to design a job description for the job legal specialist to hire employees. After we identify the objectives, we will move to the second step, which is the preparing and introducing. In this case, we will identify the criteria of the JD first. And because we do not have the great amount of information together, so this is we will first hiring professional specialists for their opinions of the new positions. Maybe the professional specialist from the consultant can provide us some basic information on how we can conduct a JD for the job of legal specialist.
Systematic.
And also from the HR department, the HR will identify the task and the responsibility for the new positions according to the company's goal. Moreover, we will research for the competitors' JDs as to gather the source for references. So for us to have a better visions for the post, and the HR will include line managers to apply the data collection methods also. And this is what we would prepare for the information. Next, in the step 3, we will conduct all of the methods the HR designed to do, which is ask the consultants do the research and include the line managers. After we have enough information, we will move to the fourth step, which is the designing of job description. And in here, we can extract data gathered from the conducting steps to write the job descriptions, and then we will send the draft to the line managers to make a revisions. In the last step, which is maintaining and updating, we will HR department and the line manager of the legal department, we assume that we have already. We'll have a partnership process. They will if there's something changed, the line manager and HR will have a more deeper discussion for the data exchange before the final announcements for the positions posting. Yeah, that's what we would do in the process.
Okay, thank you very much. It's very detailed, and you guys use about the HRM theories, like the 5 steps in the procedure. It is very good. So for the group number 2, who's want to volunteer to answer the question? The group number 2. Okay, so there is no volunteer in the group number 2 to answer this question. How about group number 3? Okay, I would like to call Quốc Bảo.
So as the beginning, you already mentioned that we have to put a situation when in the company they have no JD before. So regarding to this situation, I think the first step that we have to do, that we have to talk to the manager. I mean, because as the one who asked for the new position in our company. So we have to. I mean, like we have to ask, like, why do we need this position, and what is the objective of the objective and the goal of this job, and who will this person work with. And after we ask the one who asked for this new position, we have some basic information regarding this, and then as we already know that there's no JD before in our company regarding to this position, but it's not mean that there's no job, there's no same job in other companies. So regarding that, so we can look for like use social media like LinkedIn to research about the position in other country. In other company to understand what about the requirement and the needed informations to create the job analysis. And when we have all the we finish all the preparation from the first and the second step that I already mentioned, we will write the draft. And while writing the draft, we can write down the job description and job specification as well. And when we finish the draft, we can review. And I think this step is kind of really important because the job, as I already mentioned, it is new. So there's no certain. Therefore, it's just a guess. And so that after the one making the job analysis, they hire someone that they think that they fit to that position. They can let them have 3 to 6 months work for trial, and then the one that making the job analysis can ask that persons that whether they feel that is that fit, is there every work that they have to face with already mentioned in the job analysis or not, and and when they have the result, if they have any kind of thing that included in the job analysis in the draft, they can put it in the the next version of the job analysis to make it more completed. So that's
Okay. Okay, thank you very much for your opinion on this question. So for the group number 4, do you guys have any idea about this question? Group number 4. Yes, I would like to call Zheng Zheng.
So I am from group 3, and there might be an internet error, so that Quốc Bảo from group 2 has been a little bit late. Yeah, so that's he performed it later, and he answered it on our turn. So
Yes, okay.
please please note it down a bit. Thank you. So can we answer our question now?
Yes. Group number 3 right now. Okay.
Yes. So conducting a thorough job analysis begins with a preliminary research to gather background information, which includes reviewing internal documents like previous job advertisements and organizational charts, as well as benchmarking against similar roles in other companies. Since formal records may be incomplete, the next phase involves active data collecting using primary techniques to gather precise details. This includes conducting one-on-one interviews with current staff and supervisor to uncover hidden responsibilities, utilizing standard questionnaires for efficient data gathering, and directly observing employees to see how tasks are physically complete. After compiling this information, the third step is to create rough draft of both the job descriptions, which defines the exact task, and the job specifications, which outline the required skills and traits. These drafts are then validated by managers and employees to ensure accuracy. Finally, during the implementations and maintenance phase, these finalized documents are integrated into company's broader human resources management processes, such as recruiting and performance evaluations, and a recurring review schedule is established to keep the descriptions updated as the organization grows. So that is our group answers.
Okay, thank you very much. So we have final one is about the group number 5. So who will be the one who want to answer this question? Group number 5, I would like to call Nhi.
Yes, teacher. To conduct a job analysis in a company that has never had job recruitment before, the HR department should collect and analyze information about employee duty, responsibility, and requires skills suitable for the required position. Job analysis is defined as a systematic ways of collecting information about the content, context, and requirement of the job in an organization. First, HR management need to identify the objective of the job analysis. The purpose is to understand what task employee perform, what skills are required, and how each job contribute to original goals. This step ensures that the job analysis support other HR functions such as recruitment, training, performance, and compensation. Second, HR must analyze and organize the collected that the information grade should be examined to identify key tasks, responsibility, working condition, and knowledge, skill, and ability required for each job. This analysis helps distinguish different jobs and clarify the responsibility of employee. Finally, XR can develop job description and job specification. A job description outlines the job title, job summary, duty, performance, and reporting relationship, while a job specification identify and qualification required for the job, such as education, experience, and skill. This document before important tool for recruitment, training, and performance evaluation. In conclusion, even if a company has never created job description before, XR management can conduct job analysis by by collecting job-related information, analyzing it carefully, and then developing clear job description and job specification to support effective human resource management. For instance, if a company wants to hire cheaper deliveries, but had never had job description before, XR can approach current delivery staff, interview them about their daily tasks, such as picking up order, delivering goods, communicating with customer, and using delivery app and record this requires base requires skill like driving ability, time management, and customer service. Based on this information, HR can create a job description for a super position and specific the qualification needed for recruitment. And on my answer of my group.
Okay, thank you very much. So for every group right here, we have a different perspective for this question. However, you guys doing very good. So in general right here, if you guys don't have any job description in the real life, so the first thing that you guys can do that is a search on the internet websites, or maybe you guys can see a lot of friends, a lot of group using about the LinkedIn, or maybe Google, or maybe Facebook job description on the job fair in order to have a better understanding and have a vision about what is about the context of that job description in general. Maybe you guys can collecting about the data when you guys try to comparing it with the similar job level or maybe the position in different companies. So this is also a way that can help you guys to have the idea, okay, the first idea or maybe the first vision about the job description that you guys never had before in your company. Okay, so that is about the question, and you guys should highlight about this question because it can appear on the final exam. Okay, so now we will have the break time until 3:20. Okay, 3:20, and after the break time, you guys will have one case study. This case study is from the last semester final exam. So I want to give you guys to prepare and also to discuss with each other how you guys can solve a problem from this case study. Okay, so now you guys can have a break time.